Welcome back to a breath of fresh air, aka Sky Chase Zone. Sky Chase Zone is going to be one of those zones where, well, the first three zones are going to, the last three zones are only going to be one active piece. So Sky Chase Zone, you notice it didn't say Act 1. You're going to start and then end without a signpost, very much like the next two zones. And we're chasing after Robotnik's Sky Fortress Zone, which is it could be a very perilous level, or it could just be a very short level depending on you tackling it. But let's go back to Sky Chase Zone. So Sky Chase Zone, we're gonna be fighting a lot of badniks. We're gonna be fighting these fighter jets that are like falcons, these tortoises that are shooting bullets from these big tortoises. Big tortoises you can't destroy, and you got like these little bomber badniks, which they just drop pellets from the very bottom. So you don't want to get right underneath them because you're just asking for a little bit of trouble by getting hit. And you'll be racking in quite a few points in terms of destroying the badniks, because you can get a pretty decent sized chain in certain areas where you're destroying badniks. So that's kind of cool if you care about points. I don't exactly care, but some people do. Now, one thing to be wary of is if you have all the chaos emeralds and you can turn to supersonic, which I am going to demonstrate here. You do not want to turn supersonic in this particular zone because, as you can see, Tails and Sonic are kind of bungee cord together in the sense that wherever Sonic goes, the aka Tails, is going to follow to catch Sonic. Now, as you notice, there's like a little bit of a delay, but if you're normal Sonic, you won't really run to the issue of running off the tornado and fall into your doom. At least I haven't never done that as normal Sonic, but absolutely as Super Sonic, as we're about to see here, you can absolutely do that. And I totally did not plan that. Maybe, perhaps, I don't know. Well, we're about to see right about here. Anyways, let's go back to where we died. So just don't turn into Super Sonic. I just wanted to show that off, or leave that footage in. We'll never know. The bottom tortoises you can't really hit, but they can't actually hit you either. But the middle and top ones, they absolutely can. And once you get to this section with all these tortoises, we're already in the clear. We don't have to worry anymore about the level because we're about to end it right here. And why they put those last few rings there, I'll never know, because the end level is literally right here. So once Tails goes forward, we begin the next zone, which is going to be Sky Fortress Zone. Now, Wing Fortress Zone, my bad. Now, Wing Fortress Zone, you want to jump off right here. Don't follow Tails down or else you'll die with him. Actually, Tails doesn't die. Because he has infinite lives, you see. Now, Sky Fortress Zone is one gigantic bottomless pit on the bottom, so don't fall down. Now, there is one way to skip about over half the zone, which I'm going to show here after spoiler, I die. Because I can't time my jumps very well, which is going to be right here. So I'm going to jump, and I try to make that, and I found out really quickly I couldn't. So let's go ahead and jump cut to where we started, more or less. Get back up here. We're going to take the upper path, and by upper path I mean I want to use this shield to take a hit, which is right here. And I don't know how I didn't hit those chicken bots, but it is what it is. If you want to continue the zone normally, go left, but if you want to skip a lot of the zone, go right, which is what I'm going to do, because I've always done this ever since I found out. Which honestly I found this out much later in life, probably like well after the PS3 came out. But anyways, take that section by taking the hit, and you jump really quickly along these turrets. Don't waste too much time. When you hit that little speed booster, just do not push anything. Let Sonic do his own thing. For whatever reason, unless they fixed it in this game, I found if you hold the direction, Sonic won't clear that gap really well. He'll actually fall to his doom. So I don't like to hold any buttons anymore right there. I just let Sonic do his own thing. But we're right at the end of the zone. Hit this little signpost, hit this little mine, and we'll jump in here. We will seal us in, and we will fight a boss that may or may not be in a future Sonic game. Now, Robotnik's locking it all up. We're going to have to hit this laser. It's up to the top, but Sonic doesn't have the height necessary to hit it. So we got to use these little platforms that Eggman conveniently left for us while he's shooting a giant laser into his Wing Fortress Zone, which I'm glad they kind of retconned this in Flying Battery Zone, where it does literally kind of destroy the Flying Battery Zone. So that's kind of nice. But 8 hits and it's done. Of course, don't stand under the giant FU laser, otherwise you'd be asking for trouble. Now go to the right here, you can jump here, you get an extra life or an extra coin. You go down here, we'll be into a scripted sequence where Eggman, aka Dr. Robotnik, because I don't know why I keep calling him Dr. Eggman. It's not Dr. Eggman yet. And then conveniently, Tails fixed the tornado and added a booster rocket to it, and somehow this biplane and booster rocket is going to beat this space shuttle in terms of speed, as far as getting Sonic up to the necessary height for him to jump, grab onto the spaceship, and then we're going to be sent into the stratosphere, aka outer space, into a new zone, the Death Egg Zone. So pretty cool. I remember seeing this for the first time. I was like, what the hell's happening? Where is he taking me? And then we get to the very top and we're like, oh my, he took us into outer space. Now where's he taking us? The Death Egg Zone. In the Death Egg Zone, I really like the track here. If you stay here in the middle section before you get to this first boss fight, this is Silver Sonic, not Metal Sonic. You barely tap, jump, and you hit him in the face. You don't want to jump on the spines, obviously, but that first one you can get 3 good hits. Right here you can get another 3. That's 7. You can get an 8th hit right there to destroy him. Now, spoiler alert, I did die twice here before I beat the final boss. So if you notice the score count, that's what this is. Now, this is the infamous Death Egg Robot. Now, you want to hit him in the body, but you do not want to hit him in the body when the arms are up, because that's just enough height to kill Sonic, and I'm kind of risking it for the biscuit when he's walking. It's much better to do it when he's standing still. And then when he goes up in the air, stand to the left or the right. I like to stand to the left. When you hit the target, you hear the target go, jump out of the way and then run to the right. And you'll be able to avoid those arms if you lure him all the way to the left. And then this is my strategy. I like to go all the way to the left and then have him fall down. And when he falls down, he lowers his body just enough to get some safe hits in. You get a good 2 hits in when he does it. But if you do what I do and you jump at the wrong time, you'll die. So let's skip. That's Death 1 or Death 2, I think. I don't know why I left this in, but anyways, I'll go ahead and show Silver Sonic again. But when you die, you'll go back here, and I can tell you right now, it's kind of frustrating to go back and fight the first boss, which this boss is not super hard. Just do not jump on him when he's a spiked ball, and then you just jump out of the way when he's speed boosting around on the floor. As long as you stand upright, you can damage him. But anyways, how funny would it be if Sonic ran faster than Eggman, aka Dr. Robotnik, and jumped into Death Egg Robot and made Eggman have to fight him? Anyways, go back to this boss fight. If you jump while he's walking, you want to do it when the arms are not like at his chest level, when they go down, basically at that position right there. And then, you know, just do what I'm doing and just be very cautious. Don't be stupid like I was. Again, when he goes down like that, hit him 2 times, back off, let the arm shoot, and then you can run and get 1 good hit in as he's going up. So you get 3 good hits in if you're going to play it super safe. 2 when he goes down, 1 when he tries to go up. So that's 2 hits right there. He'll continue his little walking pattern. I'm going to risk hitting him. I like to jump when the arms, his arm that you see is going back, because that way you're not getting hit. Right there, you only really have enough time to hit him once if you're kind of okay at it. I want to say you can get 2 hits in if you're good at it. But once you do your necessary hits, the Death Egg Robot will blow up, and then the Death Egg will start to blow up as well. And what will cause our hero Sonic to get out and be safe? Well, let's find out with the ending. And yeah, we're at the ending. So the ending, we see all the animals of West Side Island, looking in the sky at this gigantic explosion. Tells us like, my buddy is up there. I gotta go rescue him. I imagine that bird in the middle's like, hey, oh, you think Sonic's dead? Because he's covering his mouth. Almost looks like, oh, what if he's dead? Anyways, so Tails like, no, we ain't doing that. We're gonna go up and we're gonna rescue my boy, and we're gonna fly. I remember seeing this ending for the first time, and I didn't get all the Chaos Emeralds the first time, spoiler alert. But anyways, this is the ending when you get all the Chaos Emeralds. Sonic is able to fly to safety because he has all the Chaos Emeralds, because, you know, he's a Super Saiyan now, so he can fly. So Tails isn't going to catch him because Sonic can fly, so there was no need to go after Sonic with his Bald Eagle Squad. Jeez, I can't talk. So with that, we get the ending, and that is the good ending, the canonical ending, because Sonic 3 kind of picks up with Sonic having all the Chaos Emeralds. So that is the perfect / good ending. Now, if you're like me, nowadays, as a jaded old person, I don't like to get all the Chaos Emeralds. So this is the normal ending. This is the ending I got the first time I played Sonic 2. This is my preferred ending of Sonic 2, not just because I'm lazy, but because I like to see the bond between Tails and Sonic. Because to me, this ending makes more sense why Tails goes up, because Tails is like, he has no way of getting down safely. I gotta go rescue him, so screw you, bird, for winning. He's gonna die. So Tails takes off with a different squad of animals, different squad of birds, and he's gonna rescue Sonic, because Sonic doesn't have all the Chaos Emeralds in this version of the ending, and he just flies. He's like, I'm going to die. So he's falling, and Tails decides to catch Sonic. So that's awesome. And it's glad that Sonic can fall down a few more feet down and get caught by the propeller. But his squad of bluebirds is going to save him, or help him save him, because, you know, I don't know why those birds are flying. Maybe just to thank Sonic. But I like this ending because it kind of shows the bond between Sonic and Tails. And this is my preferred ending, honestly, when I play Sonic 2, because I don't get the Chaos Emeralds normally. But y'all folks are special, so you got to see me get the Chaos Emeralds. So that is the end of Sonic the Hedgehog 2. And the game of Sonic 2, I like it. It may not be my favorite game of the original trilogy, but it's a damn good game. All three games are damn good games in my opinion. Some people say Sonic 2 is the best. Some people say Sonic 3 and Knuckles is the best of the classic trilogy, I'm part of that camp. But fantastic game. Everything is up as far as, I want to say graphics are up, even on the Sega Genesis version of this. Sonic has an extra ability, which is a spin dash. So, super spin dash, pretty iconic. I'm glad they introduced it in this game. They introduced Tails, which is a fantastic companion. I love Tails because, you know, the pun, Miles Tails Prower. It's nice to see a lot more zones. I think probably because they probably upped the memory on the cartridge at the time. But I love the zones. In the more modern versions, I like that they added Hidden Palace Zone and got rid of that god-awful pit and Mystic Cave Zone. So that's kind of nice. And it's a nice little Easter egg for those who suffer through that stupid death trap when we're younger. There's nothing is more frustrating to fall in that pit. Majority of the music in Sonic 2 I do like. Majority. There's some tracks that are better than others. I'm trying to think of a zone I don't actually like the music wise. Anyways. I guess maybe the multiplayer music, which was in Hidden Palace Zone. In this game, I didn't really like. That's a multiplayer. I think that was Mystic Cave Zone. I think earlier I said that was I forget what zone I said it was, but it's Mystic Cave Zone. Looking at the playback, Dr. Robotnik's egg machines. I like them. It's a different variety. The machines look a lot different because they're just parts on the Eggmobile versus Sonic 1. They were just kind of built on it. It's almost like he swapped off different Eggmobiles, but this one, it's one Eggmobile with different parts on it, which I appreciated, minus the Hilltop Zone boss fight. But with that, we're at the end, and this is new in the remastered Sonic Origins. You see this, and then you also see the that is also new, so that's kind of cool. And then the little anime video at the end is new, and I'm going to end it here, folks. I'll catch you on the next Let's Play, and that may not be Knuckles there. Later and bye.